Okay. Okay, man. Alrighty. What's up, you guys? Welcome back. So, today I'm gonna make some chocolate cake. It's gonna be a birthday cake. Yeah. It's gonna be for my host brother. He's celebrating his quince. His birthday's technically on Monday. Today is Friday. We're celebrating tomorrow. And I'm gonna make the cake. In the ideal situation, I'm gonna make the cake tonight and then I'm gonna make the icing. I wanna try to make it with my host sister tomorrow. So we'll see if she makes a special guest appearance, but I'm not totally sure if that will happen, but we're gonna try. But yeah, so we're gonna make a chocolate cake, the allegedly best chocolate cake ever. I found it on Pinterest, where I find all my recipes. I cheated a little bit this time. I had to get some things from Asuncion, from the capital, because there are some things like cocoa powder that I knew I wasn't gonna be able to find in my community. Also vanilla. I knew I wasn't gonna find them in my community, but pretty much everything else I got from here. So yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so here we have all of our ingredients. So we've got classic bagged milk. We have the vanilla, which I got in the capital. I had to get in the capital. Here's my sugar, which was a gift. Thank you, Alba. My salt, flour. This is a different flour than I usually use. This is harina lutante, which is apparently just much better for cakes. I don't know if it makes it more moist or what, because Paraguayan cakes are so moist. This is our butter. It is, as you can see, vegetable fat spread, but it'll do. It's like margarine, I guess, maybe. The cocoa that I also had to get in Asuncion, 3 eggs, and our baking soda. Our bicarbonate. It does call for also baking powder, but I don't have that. Okay, so I feel like this is actually pretty cut and dry. It's not going to be that difficult. At least I hope it's not going to be that difficult. Famous last words, right? I feel like the really hard thing is going to be the icing, making the icing tomorrow, but we'll see. So I'm just going to get my baking bowl. Okay, so I think the way that this recipe is set up, it's going to call for, I'm going to need 2 bowls, but I only have 1 bowl. I'm gonna have other bowls, but they're much smaller. So I need a bowl to put all of the dry ingredients in, and then another bowl to put mix all the wet ingredients. So we're gonna use this guy. It's pretty small, but it needs to hold. It'll work. It's gonna work. It's totally gonna work. Okay, so first thing is we're going to combine the flour, the cocoa, and the baking powder and the salt in this guy. Yeah, I think that's going to be the way to go. All right, vamos a ver how this is going to go. So we need 2 cups of flour. Cool. And then we need 3/4 of a cup of cocoa. Yeah, so I'm gonna use this, which is 1/4 of a cup. I'm just gonna do that 3 times. Okay, well, this is not really working. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Cool. And we need, this calls for 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder. So I'm just gonna do roughly, we're gonna do roughly 2 spoons of bicarbonato. I know that baking is all about the ratios, but we have to be a little bit forgiving when it comes to this because don't got that much to work with. Okay, and then we also need to add the salt, and it calls for 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Per usual, I'm just gonna like sprinkle the salt in there. That'll do, I think. All right. Here's our bowl of dry ingredients. We're gonna set that aside for now. Okay, so our next step is we're gonna start doing the wet ingredients. So we're gonna put the butter, which we need 3/4 of a cup. All right, I gotta go rinse my 1/4 cup. Be right back. She's clean, kind of. Alrighty, so 3/4 cup of butter. So we got 1, 2, and 3. Seems about right. ¿Por qué no? Okay, so it says to beat that for about 30 seconds. We do not have a whisk, so we're gonna use a fork. And we're just gonna beat this butter. This is so oily and greasy. I don't think I really need to beat that this much. This is what's going on right now. So we're gonna slowly add the sugar, and we need to add 2 cups of sugar. And I'm just gonna scoop with this because I have like 1 kilo of sugar here, so I'm not really concerned about it. 1. I'm supposed to slowly add it. How do you really slowly add it, you know? It's looking all right. It's looking all right. That's how it's looking right now. Now we're gonna add cup 2 of the sugar. This is so much sugar. Just beat this again. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's looking good. This is weird. So I can't really see what's going on right now, so I don't know if this works, but this is what it looks like. This looks kind of normal, right? I don't know. It's my 3rd day out here. Cool. Cool. The next step is to add in 1 egg at a time, and then to beat every time an egg is added. Okay, so egg number 1. Save this bad boy for my compost. And we're gonna beat it. And then you do that 3 more times, or 2 more times, you get it. 2 more times, you get it. I'm just having fun out here, you know? We're just having fun. Compost. It's looking pretty good. Last egg. I'm just gonna keep beating here. Oh, I know what I want to talk about. I want to talk about holidays. So today, as I'm doing this right now, the date is Friday. Yeah, Friday, September 20th. Which means that tomorrow is the first day of spring here in Paraguay. For all of my United States friends and family, you're like, what? September? It's fall. Hi, baby girl. Hey, look who came to visit. Hey, cutie. Anyway. Yeah, September. It's fall, right? Psych. Southern Hemisphere, man. So yeah, tomorrow's the first day of spring. It's Dia del Juventud, our day of youth. This is what the sugar and the butter and the eggs look like. You can't. Looks good is what it looks like. The next step is to add all the dry ingredients. So I'm just gonna do that and keep talking. You get it, we're just gonna stir this, you know? So yeah, because tomorrow is Dia del Juventud, and it's also, whose bright idea was it to wear a black shirt when baking? Freaking idiot. Dia del Juventud and the first day of spring. It's also, my school spent the last week doing Olympiada, which means Olympic Games. And so they were doing a lot of different like athletic competitions. We have like a week where local schools, I think there's only a few days actually where local schools will play against each other. But then it's just like intercollegial activities. So we had like races and intercollegial soccer games, like other things like that. So we did all of that last week. So today was like a culmination of all of that, where the athletes that placed in the races or did especially well in some of the other activities like the soccer games or something. We also had like a beauty it was not a beauty pageant. They were electing a queen of the school that's like the face of the game. She's Miss Olympiada. So each grade had a queen. Me and the superintendent of the school, as well as somebody from the Ministry of Education, were judges for this pageant. And they had each class had their queen, and then they also had like an equipo, like a team behind them. They cheered them on, and they had like, I don't know, they like followed them as they did their walk. It was actually really, really cool. It reminded me of Spirit Week in high school, except different. Kind of, I mean, like, it was kind of like Homecoming Queen. I feel like that's like the closest thing to it. So today they had awards for like the best athletes. They also had awards for the best presentation of their queen. So there was a lot of stuff going on, and we made food for everybody, very typical Paraguayan food. And there was a cake. There were 2 cakes. They were super lindo. The point of me saying this is the last week, we really didn't have class like at all. There was no activity at all this week. And there was a lot of few other activities within the last month that there really wasn't any like formal class. I think this is like what I kind of wanted to talk about because I think for people who are going to be working in the schools, or just something to note about working, at least my experience working in the school here is like oftentimes unexpectedly there isn't class, and it has a lot to do with holidays that I didn't really think would be very notable holidays. And I'm just going to take a quick pause here. I'm going to add the milk. Look how freaking delicious this looks. But it's super thick, very viscous. So we're going to add the milk. And it says to add in like half the milk, beat it, and then add the other half of the milk and continue to, you guessed it, beat it. So I'm gonna use my bag of milk here. I'm scared. Why is it in a bag? Okay. That's just the way it is. Half of the milk in there. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. So it was something that I have had to kind of get used to working in the schools, is that there's not a lot of class when you least expect it. So like, for example, Dia de la Amistad, International Friendship Day, which I believe is the, this is so much milk. This is not really taking well into the batter. Seems excessive, yeah? Just gonna go with it. The best chocolate cake ever does not come without difficulty. So yeah, like Dia de la Amistad, which is International Friendship Day, which I think is, I want to say the 30th or the 31st of July. It's one of those two. I think it's the 30th. Which like back home for me, that would have been a day like that if I knew existed, I would kind of like, I would like post a picture of my friends on like Instagram and be like, happy Friendship Day, I love you guys. But here it was like kind of like a big deal. Like we didn't have school. So this year, I believe it was on a Tuesday. We didn't have school on a Friday, the Friday beforehand, Monday or Tuesday. So we had like a 5-day weekend for this day that I previously would have never thought would be a day that you would get off of school for. But it's kind of like beautiful, don't you think? Like, you know, friendship is that important here. But I guess that's my point, is like however like difficult and frustrating it can be in terms of like planning and like wanting to get work done and wanting to feel productive in the high schools, but like unexpectedly not having class so often, as frustrating as that can be, like I think once I got used to it and once I kind of understood that it's really kind of a beautiful part of the culture, like today, just like seeing all the kids like cheer for each other as they were getting their awards and like being so proud of their friends and of themselves for doing what they did during the Olympiada Games and like celebrating their youth and just spending time together dancing and eating food. It was really, really beautiful. And I think once you kind of get past the frustration of the very United States way of looking at things, which is I need to be productive, I need to be doing things, and you just kind of sit back and enjoy the ride. It's something like, I don't know, it's something really special, and that's all I have to say about that. So I added just, oh, you can kind of see it. I added just over half a cup, it looks like, because I think I added a little bit more than 3/4 last time. So we'll see how this goes. Man, I really hope they like this. Oh, and I don't know. I'm scared. It's looking a little... No, it's fine. It's going to be great. I'm following directions. I'm so good at following directions. All of my report cards said so. I'm a good noodle. I'm doing fine. But like I said, I'm making this for my brother's 15th birthday. And I want to make sure that he knows that I appreciate him like allowing me into his home, because I'm sure that wasn't easy, having a complete stranger live in your house for 3 months. So yeah, I'm making this cake, and then I got him Harry Potter. I hope he likes it. If he doesn't like it, I hope he likes this cake, because man, this looks so good. It's looking good, guys. Okay, so we're going to grease up the pans. My handy dandy pan. Huh. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do something different this time. Instead of just guesstimating my oven, I'm gonna take a quick little interlude, and I'm gonna look up what the Fahrenheit to Celsius conversion of 350 degrees Fahrenheit is. I didn't add the vanilla! Let's just do it now. Let's just do it now. Por qué no? Okay, we're gonna pour this bad boy into this bad boy. Ah! How's she looking, boys? I think she's looking pretty good. Okay, so I just looked it up, and 350 degrees Fahrenheit is roughly 176 degrees Celsius, which I'm pretty sure is exactly what I've been cooking at. But, as yes, okay, so we're gonna pop this guy in the oven, and you know what, I think what I might do is use this guy, because it's metal, and put the rest of the batter in here and just make like a little mini cake. And then that can be my taste tester. What do we think? Yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna do that right now. You guys aren't gonna get to see it. It's gonna look exactly like it did before. I didn't oil it! Ugh. That's okay. It's totally fine. Okay, so kind of still a disaster, but it's gonna be fine. I'm just gonna sprinkle flour on it instead. I'm gonna salt bae it. For the effect. The stuff on the edge here, on this edge, it's gonna burn, but you win some and you lose some. Okay, round 2. I'm gonna pour this in my bowl for my little test cake. Okay, and the rest of the batter, I'm just gonna eat. This is so good. I really hope I don't burn this, because this batter, if this batter means anything about this cake is gonna be so good. All right, so they're in the oven, and they're supposed to bake for 35 to 40 minutes. I'm gonna have to check in on them regularly to make sure that they don't get burnt, because I'm really excited about this cake and I don't want them to get messed up. So we'll see. Remember how I said, I really hope I don't burn this cake?
I really hope I don't burn this.
Well, I literally caught it on fire. What do I do? My test cake is leaking. But, bright side, some parts of it are already cooked, so we can just skip right ahead and eat it. Although I'm sure parts of it are just charred. Look at this. This is the batter I salvaged from my mini cake, and like this is the stuff that leaked on the ground of the floor of the oven. So I saved what I could of the mini cake. I've just put it right back in there. And just hope for the best. The outside of it is definitely gonna be charred, but I think it'll work, and then I don't really know what I'm gonna do with the rest of this batter. But I'm gonna eat this. So it looks really good. This will be the taste test. I literally said that I pulled it from the floor. I literally said that I pulled it from the floor of the oven. I literally said that it was charred. Why did I think that eating it? What a mess. Okay. Completely ignoring the burnt parts of it. It's so good. It's really soft. I think as long as I don't burn it again, it's gonna be a big hit. I could cry. It was so good. And I caught this cake on fire. I still think it's the best chocolate cake I've had maybe ever. I'm gonna try to scrape the burnt cake off the bottom of my oven because it's smelling a little Bernie Sanders in my kitchen. I don't like it. Okay, so I just pulled this out of the oven and I'm really nervous. Okay, so we see how clean this knife is. Super clean, yeah? But it's cooked. But it's looking good. Can't really say the same for the test cake. But, you know, whatever. It's a test. This looks really lean dough, though. As far as I'm concerned, there's still so much time for things to go wrong. But this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna put this cake that I feel like is edible. It's hard to know, truly, but based off of this, it smells alright though. It's like cooked, even though it looks pretty not cooked. It's still cooked. It passed the knife test. So I'm gonna cover it, put it in the fridge, and we're gonna make the icing tomorrow. I also have some sprinkles. So we're gonna try to make this work. Hopefully it's good. Let me tell you, life comes at you fast and when you least expect it. Yeah, so this morning I was up really late last night working on stuff, and so I slept in this morning, and about 8:30 I started hearing some clapping, and serendipitously it was my little host sister. So I didn't even have to go find her and ask her if she wanted to help. She just wanted to come visit, and she helped me make the icing, which was cool. I think it turned out really well. That's why I look like I do, just like I just rolled out of bed. This is the shirt that I sleep in. So, but I think it all worked out. Very serendipitous, and I didn't even have to leave my house. Que suerte, right? Perfecto.
Y ahora
Poner vanilla acá 2 veces.
Dos veces de cuchara.
Sí.
Y en esto voy a poner
Sí.
en la manteca.
Sí. Vamos a mezclar todo. ¿Ya está?
Está.
Bueno, y vamos a poner
Esto ahí. Y después mezclar.
azúcar. Sí. ¿Y qué más? Todavía necesitamos la leche. Sí, pero no necesitamos mucho. Poquito. Sí, poquitito. Bueno.
Y con chorizo, ensalada.
Chorizo.
Es mi favorita.
Sí.
Ah, Y vas a hacer así.
Sí.
Y... Ay.